All eyes are staring. Oh my, relax. And somebody needs to tell me why my mother is not here as yet. On the way, Sister Debbie? All right. She's missing. Maybe good so, because she probably would have stopped him to interject. So maybe it's a good thing. If I know her any better. All right. May I establish protocol? Pastor Septimus Charles, Reverend Dr. Osbert James, District, District, um, Chief Curriculum Officer, actually, Dr. Banabi Bishop, District Education Officer, Mrs. Maudlin James, Education Officer, Mrs. Fletcher Newton, Education Officer, Dr. Alana Charles, who got missed the first time around. Don't hide in the back there. Dr. Laura Colkett, member of the faculty at the St. George's University. I see principals, Miss, Noreen Augustin. I see past principals. We have Lady, yes, I have to call you Lady, Glenda Mason Francis. You're a lady to me. Mr. Jonathan Lecreth, who is also a former principal. Mr. Stephen Antoine, who is also a former principal. I'm really trying not to miss anybody. I see also from SU, Mrs. Marcel Strawn Mitchell. Sorry, Mrs. Mitchell, I didn't see you on that side. Members of the business community, Mr. Richard Strawn, Mr. Victor Daniel, Mrs. Sherry Antoine, and others. And I think at this point, I'm going to say it now while she's coming out, the arrival of Reverend Astula Antoine, MBE, so that I don't have to stop. All right. So as she takes a seat, I will go on because I do not promise to keep you very long. You'll be happy to know I wrote these few remarks at 5 a.m. this morning. So clearly it could not be very long. I pray that I do not keep you very long. But I am excited to be able to share with you. And I first of all wish to thank all of you for being with us this afternoon. We have parents with us. We have a few of our selected students with us, parents of those students. We have members of faculty around, and we have very many well-wishers on compound and virtually around. So I wish to acknowledge your presence and thank you for being with us this afternoon. John Dewey once said, "Education is not preparation for life. Education is life itself." The St. George's Institute is a culmination of a collaboration of many individuals who dared to envision education and life differently. A group of young professionals who yearned for more. A group of innovators who set out to live and learn purposefully. Today, it is my distinct pleasure to represent that group of individuals who have embraced their role in the unique design of the tapestry of Grenada's education system and their aim to vigorously utilize the depths of their passions to change our world. I stand here only as a member of a team, knowing that, and I quote, "The strength of the team is in its individual members, and the strength of its individual members is in the strength of the team." The St. George's Institute is premised on the philosophy of collaboration, which can be seen in the design and approach to the planning of our teaching and learning experiences. Today, SGI will officially commence a journey of collaborative inquiry and innovative action. Together, we endeavor to unpack our past experiences as educators in the traditional classrooms, using the traditional methods, with a view to glean from the wisdom of our collective experiences to bring to bear a remodeled school program. Isn't that what learning is about? A permanent change in behavior, or at least according to the learning behaviorists. We have learned from our various teaching experiences, and we continue to learn that we have to be open to doing things differently if we wish to achieve different outcomes. The St. George's Institute is not just another Christian private secondary school, but it is a community of learners who are prepared to approach life and learning from an inquiry standpoint with a view to becoming innovative pioneers. Our graduates will be critical and independent thinkers who engage in reflexive practice as their modus operandi, continuously drawing connections across integrated curricula. We have designed a curriculum process which seeks to accentuate the commonalities across subject content, enhancing the transfer of learning needed for our students to be able to apply each learning experience to daily living. And this particular tenet reminds me of the words of the Honorable Dr. Ralph Gonsalves when he said, "Education is for living and production." At the St. George's Institute, we are charged to produce graduates who will be ready to transform our societies and economies. And we accept this challenge in the full soberness of its gravity. What we do within and beyond these walls, as we offer both face-to-face and virtual experiences, must be well designed to achieve its intended objectives. Students of excellence through transformational leadership. Our mission at the St. George's Institute is to nurture a values-based foundation while uniquely cultivating collaborative inquiry and innovative action. Our graduates will be nurtured to embrace values of integrity, respect, empowerment, service, and community as they learn collaborative skills and team playing, how to communicate effectively, how to think critically, and how to problem solve creatively. We owe it to the next generation to propel them to think beyond. Maybe not so coincidentally, the tagline of the St. George's University, think beyond. Our societies cannot move forward if we continue to remain bound to the boundaries and parameters which imprisoned our creativity and openness to change. Virtual learning is a reality that is here to stay, and we have no choice but to embrace it. Our students will grow to appreciate the sum of the whole is greater than the sum of its individual parts, in the words of the famous philosopher Aristotle. Our graduates will learn to see learning as a collective experience to which they must contribute and to help construct. And for this process, they cannot be spectators or mere consumers. For joyful learning experiences to prevail in our classrooms, it is a function of all the key stakeholders: students, teachers, parents, and even our wider communities. I once had the pleasure of listening to Dr. Glenroy Cumberbatch, the former registrar at the Caribbean Examinations Council, and he stated, and of course I'm paraphrasing, if we are serious about raising achievement, then we have to create classrooms that make participation compulsory. Luke 12:48 reads, "To whom much is given, much is expected." We have been given life, particularly at a time when our current global health pandemic reminds us of how fleeting that very life is. We therefore aim to use the opportunity to live our lives with purpose, even as we provide an opportunity and an avenue for our students to better embrace God's purpose for their lives too. I have learned in both my professional and personal experiences to understand that the destination is in the journey. How we do what we do determines who we do. In other words, a life of purpose in whatever career paths we choose, how we train and apply ourselves will be the determinant in whether we become successful or effective. Our work ethics, our guiding philosophies, our level of commitment to task and people, our resilience to take setbacks and see them as key and necessary learning experiences. This will dictate our growth trajectory in just about every aspect of our lives. A favorite saying of my dear mom, Asula Antoine, my mentor and greatest cheerleader, an inspired educator in these parts, is only one life will soon be passed. Only what's done for Christ will last. May we all live our lives constantly in the understanding of the real purpose of living. We stand here with our vision that passionate engagement in learning will empower our students to discover purposeful ways in which to contribute to humanity and change the world. We view this vision as a noble call to ensure we lead our students to realize their role and responsibility in positively impacting humanity. We do not exclude ourselves from this vision, but embrace the opportunity for us to model and learn alongside our students through our collaborative efforts. We are venturing out into uncharted waters, but we do so fortified with the understanding that, one, we have set sails in choppy waters, but our boat was built to surf the waves. And two, we know where our anchor holds. To say that we are excited will be truly an understatement. Our delight abounds. Our entire experience has allowed us to forge bonds that have had to stand the test of times, from countless hours of training virtually over months of preparation in the midst of a global health pandemic and the uncertainty of it, to preparing a building site in just over 2 weeks to be able to host today's event. We are the definition of we stand together. And in everything and everywhere, we feel the strength of our Heavenly Father, as we are reminded in Philippians 4:13, we can do all things through Christ who strengthens us. We have been overwhelmed with the level of support, commitment, and encouragement of a vast majority of persons and organizations. It has been truly humbling to be on the receiving end of this level of human kindness. I told you. Lady Antoine, please allow the workers to do their task today. It has reinvigorated my faith in the goodness of humanity and the sheer power of love. We can only do this through love for God, love for people, love for our country, and certainly a love for education. This journey has been one of grit and faith. The obstacles and hurdles that we overcame to get to this point in the marathon were more than sufficient to throw in the towel and take the easy way out. Imagine a national health pandemic developing at a rapid pace just as the momentum begins to rise. We have had to pivot time and time again to be able to stay this course and keep heart. And we envision a journey ahead that will be just as uncertain, just full of challenges, and would require us to approach it just the same way. In times like these, we are most reminded that except the Lord build the house, they labor in vain that build it. Psalms 127, verse 1. We take confidence in knowing that we have placed him at the center of our planning, our design, and execution. He will continue to provide the vision, the resources, the right persons at the right times to sustain this journey. We are passionate. We have been empowered. We will be purposeful. We thank you all for making the time to share this moment with us, both physically and virtually, and want to clearly register our appreciation and thanks for your show of support. And when all is said and done today, let's all fly with SGI.